Hi fashion lovers, hi my lovely viewers. See, I wish to teach you how to make this lovely gown. Make sure you watch the tutorial. It's very simple, and lovely. So if you are interested, make sure you watch to the fullest. Thank you. Lovers, hi my lovely viewers. Hi everyone. Thanks so much. Thanks for subscribing. We've knocked the 1,000 subscribers. If not for you, who am I? Thank you so much. Thanks for believing in me. Thanks for viewing. Thanks for your comments and thanks for everything you've been doing on that channel. So today I want to quickly show you the way I cut that simple gown you are seeing on the screen. It's very simple, very simple. So let's get started. So if you see that gown, it is an off-shoulder gown. I'm sorry, I'll be using paper to illustrate. I've already sewn the clothes for the customer, so I just want to show you how I go about it. I'm using paper for the cutting. So what I did was I dropped 3 inches for the off shoulder. Do you understand? You know, you can drop 3, you can drop 4, you can drop 4.5, you can drop 5 for your off shoulder. But for that kind of style, I dropped 3 inches. Then after I measure the client's length, then I measure a armhole, which is 8 inches. I use 8 inches for a armhole. I use 15 inches for a half length. Then a hip measurement, let's just use it so that you know we are using a paper. Let me just drop it at 23. But a hip measurement, the person I'm showing you, I did that clothes for, is somebody like me, which hip line is 24. But I want to use 23 just to illustrate the style for you. Okay, so on top of here, which is the armhole line, or you say armhole line, or you say it as a chest line, anyhow you understand it, which this one is the what, waist line, and this is the hip line, why this is the hem line, which is the down of the clothes. I see. So on this chest line or armhole line, you measure the bust. Our bust is 34, which I measured 34. Then I added the seam allowance of 1.5. Here our waist is 28. This is 28. I added 1 inch for that and 1.5 for seam allowance. On the hip side, our hip is 36 plus 1.5 for seam allowance. So for your hem line, you know it is a free gown, and I did not put slits on that gown at the back side. The material I use for that style is a Duchess material, so I did not put slits. I did not even put anything. So I took the hip measurement downward like this. That was how I go about it. I took the hip measurement downward. So let's connect these two together. Are you seeing it? So for the neck side, you know, if you notice that style, there is a rubber elastic at the center part of the style. So for the neck side, I use 6 inches for the neck side. Are you seeing it? Then I drop it down this way. Are you getting it? So let's cut this. Then I'll use this to cut the back side. I only add the zipper allowance this way. Then I cut it out. You can see you can use 1.5, you can use 2 inches for your zipper allowance. Then I cut it out too, that way. After cutting it out, then I will show you how to cut the neck. So for the neck side, for the front, you don't need to cut any neck line for the front, just leave it as that 3 inches. So for the back side, you know it's 3 inches, you drop 3 inches, then you now drop it down to 6 inches. You understand? Then you make it kind of round neck. Do you see it? You curve it down as round neck for the back side. Let me cut it out so that you understand it. So this is our zipper allowance. So let me zipper allowance. And again, there's something we normally call budge at the back side of our clothes. So it is always good to remove the budge of your clothes. And how you remove the budge is just removing ½ inches from here. Then you connect from your neckline. But when you are sewing it, you make sure the inches you use for your measurements, for your back measurements, is what you remove here, which is the budge you've removed. Are you seeing it? You connect that. You see, so this one you cut it out. So let me cut it out so that you understand the meaning of budge at the waist side of our clothes. So for the front side now, the only thing you need is just, you know, this is just single paper. It will be 2 after you've cut it. Do you understand? The only thing you need for this type of style is you just take your elastic at the center part here, you take it to your machine, you draw it, you turn the next side, you turn the upper part here, you turn it with facing, like facing that will reach here, you face it. Let me cut out the facing before doing the back side. So you just turn it with facing, but make sure the facing you are using is, you cut the facing at least length like this. It will pass the armhole measurement at least 3 inches after your chest line or your armhole measurement. So let me just explain the facing to you. So this is the facing. You just turn it at the neck side alone, and you turn it in. You only use it to turn your clothes to make that upper part neat, except if you want to put lining direct. But to that one I did not put lining. I only face it, then leave the armhole side alone. Only face the neck, then hold this down alone. That's all. And you also do what you did to the back, to the front, to the back. So for the front side, you don't need anything. After facing it, just take your elastic rubber, fold it this way, drag it at the center part. Immediately you drag it, it will give you that shape. It will squeeze down, but I will advise you don't drag it too much, because the more you drag it, the more squeezed the clothes will be. But if you drag it little, at least let's say small this way, small this way, small this way, it will be okay, not that much. So for the back side, you are going to put that at the back side, because the back side doesn't have elastic. Are you getting me? So for our dart, I'm using 4 inches for the dart allowance. So the 3 inches here. So for the back length, the length of my back dart, I will put it as 9 inches. You can use 10, you can use 9. So this is 4 inches for my dart allowance. You take the 4 inches down. Assuming this is clothes, my dart length is what, 22. So I'll take it to 22 inches here. Okay, I'll connect it like this. So for on my half length here, I'll take ½ inch for my dart allowance. Are you seeing it? Then you connect this. This is your dart. You know, after taking that here, just imagine after taking our dart at the back side, the back will have shape while the front won't have shape. So after sewing it, you now cut out the allowance that will be at the side of your waist. Do you see it? You cut out the allowance. Let's say we've put the darts now. Let's imagine we've put the darts. So there will be an allowance here. Are you seeing it? So you just have to cut the allowance of that 1 inch dart. You cut it away. You cut the allowance of the 1 inch dart which you've taken. After doing that, then you just shape it out. Shape it out, which is the dart allowance. You know, this is paper. When you are using your clothes, you do it more better. Do you understand? You know your allowance very well. It is paper. The allowance here is just that allowance that is at the back side, that is not in the front side, so that when you are joining it together, it will not give you a kind of shape. I cut the shape out for the front side. So for the sleeve, you know, it is a rubber sleeve, an elastic sleeve, and it is an off-shoulder sleeve. So this paper will not reach me, but I'll just use this to explain. I'm very sure you understand it. So what we dropped for our off-shoulder was what? 3 inches. So, and the wideness of that shoulder is 6 inches, which gives us 12. So now, for your off shoulder, don't use that 3 inches. It depends on how much you want your rubber to be. Now, that 3 inches, I can simply times it times 2, which is 6 inches. This is 6 inches. Why? It is a rubber, it is an elastic. It has to have something that will hold the elastic in. So from here now, it's just very simple. You can simply take this, you know, this is your allowance, which is 1.5. Let's say this is the 1.5. This is what will be remaining in your clothes. Just take it. It's very easy, just as simple as ABC. Just cut it out. You want to cut an off-shoulder sleeve that needs rubber, you don't need to start calculating anything. It's very simple. Just take the sleeve. This is your allowance. After joining it, this one will be remaining. And again, another thing you can check is that, okay, will this thing reach me? Will this thing reach my armhole length after cutting? Like me, after sewing my clothes, if the armhole is still short, it's too small, I will later curve. I will shape my armhole down a little. Do you understand me? So it is off shoulder. Your armhole has to be tight, not too tight. Do you get it? So if it doesn't reach, you can simply reduce it a little. But this is okay. Just take it down like this. Then you make this down part wider too a little. At least for that style, I used like 9 inches wide. For the wideness of the arm, I used 9 inches wide. So that rubber pack this to 9 inches, which is the curve of our arm, of our sleeve rather. So I think with this you should understand my explanation. So here you just have to fold it. You can fold it in like this. Then you use a safety pin to put the elastic in, and also this place you fold it. You can simply weave, then fold, then put the elastic, or there's another way of doing it. You can simply put your elastic on your machine this way, then you fold it in, you stitch it, then you move down. It is as easy as that. I hope you understand me. Please put your if you have any challenges in sewing or cutting this style, just put it in the comment section below. I'm always available to attend to you. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much.